I am live on the internet. Let me tweet out this link. No one's here anyway. It's fine. I'll give it a few minutes. Somebody's here. Hello, person who just joined the live stream. How are you? Feel free to say hello in the chat so I know who I'm speaking with. There's 2 people here. Hello, everybody. I am tweeting the link here. 3, 2, no, somebody. Walter, sorry, it's just me, Dougie. Buddy, it's not just you. It is you, buddy. How are you? How you doing, man? Isn't it like midnight over there? 11? Something like that? I don't know. I don't know time zones. 2 people in the chat. If you're just arriving in the chat, please say hello. I'd like to say hi right back to you. Don't know how long I'm going to live stream. I figured I'd just pop in, say hello. I went out and about with some friends today, and I bought a bunch of dumb toys. So I figured I would just sit here, chat, and open some dumb toys, and have a root beer and a Beta root beer. A root beer from a company that actually makes real beer. But the root beer is too good. And I think I've got a cat or 2 running around here. Hey, Stella, there you are. How is everyone doing? I went out today, and my buddy and I went toy hunting for Transformers, and then I bought a whole bunch of stuff that wasn't Transformers. I picked up this Marvel Legends figure, and it was on the clearance shelf for a whopping $6. It's supposed to be a $20 figure, but I won't say no to a Marvel Legend figure for $6. So, how's everybody doing? How's your Sunday night, your Sunday evening? How's everybody doing? 3 people in the chat. Please say hello. I would like to say hello back to you, please. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk. Let's be pals. Let's be friends. Dougie, you just started a new channel, didn't you? I feel like I saw a tweet where you kind of rebooted your Waltagrams with a whole new channel. Love a toy haul. Yeah, I got some decent stuff. I'm not a lot of the stuff I'm not opening is like because I love the presentation on the card. So I got some like Masters of the Universe stuff that I've been kind of looking for. Yeah, you are no longer. Why I am no longer on this one. Yeah, I saw a tweet. You said you just kind of wanted to start over again. You kind of wanted to, I guess, declutter, and it was easier to just start fresh than to, I guess, weed out some of the stuff. Picked up this Sunspot figure from Marvel Legends. I'm not even a big X-Force guy, but it was only $6. $6 isn't a terrible deal, considering that they were 20. I think this was a solid purchase, and seems to be pretty good. I went out today originally hoping to find some Transformers figures that I needed and some of the new AEW All Elite Wrestling Wave 2 figures, which are Walmart exclusives, and I did not find any because those things are ridiculously hard to find. Wanted to ditch all those dead subs, start again. Why not? Hey, man, I totally understand that. I just noticed today, actually, that I lost 2 subs, and it's probably because I haven't uploaded a damn thing in, let me tell this down, probably like an edited video since December, early December, something like that. But man, holidays got busy, so I couldn't go out and do stuff. And I haven't really been wanting to go out because I heard some news that there might be a global pandemic going on. So, but I do hope to get back to going out and doing and filming actual vlogs. But today, I kind of went out and about, and a buddy and I went on a toy hunt. I took the camera with me, and I'll actually have an edited video of the toy hunt as well as a haul. Like, can I help you? This is Stella, everybody watching. This is my baby girl, and I found her on my doorstep. Isn't that right? Because she went up and down the street, and she landed on my doorstep and said, "A sucker lives here. He'll take me in." And I did, and she's lived here for 10 years. So, yeah, so I took the camera out today, and I did a little bit of a toy hunt video, which is something I don't normally do, and I don't plan on doing it very often. Depending on how well the video does, maybe I'll do more of them. I don't know. But I figured, you know what? It'll be fun to at least get some kind of new edited content up on the channel. You're a bit addicted to a toy. That's fair. Well, then you'll love my next video. You are the target audience. So I won't spoil what I picked up today. So I'll have the video edited, and hopefully it'll be up within the next few days. So I hope you enjoy it. 3 people in the chat. Please say hello. Please say hello. Join the chat with myself and my pal Dougie over here. I'm just checking Twitter to see if the link posted. I think it did. I'm probably not going to be live streaming for too long. Something else I got this really cool Transformers 2-pack. This was a $25 figure when it came. Excuse me. Oh, I just had a burp. That's exactly what you want to hear. A guy on the internet just belching into a computer screen. This was a $25 figure whenever it came out, and it was on clearance for $12.50. But when I went to go scan it, it rang up as $7.50. So that's pretty cool. I was pretty happy about that. I used to have these actually back in the day whenever I was a kid, the original versions. And I wasn't going to get these because I didn't $25 like these figures, but I $12.50 liked these figures, and then $12.50 I definitely $7.50 like these figures. So we are going to open these bad boys right here, and I think that's it. Yeah, paperwork, instructions, and I can throw that away. So, how's the Disney collection coming along, Dougie? Snip some of these. 2 people in the chat. Please say hello in the chat. Please join the conversation. I'm just hanging out. I don't know where the conversation will go, but I'm opening some toys that I got today. So I'm pretty excited about that because I'm an adult and I make adult decisions. And this is, I have a cat in my lap. I don't know, the angle's not great, but I have a cat sitting in my lap here. So these are actually kind of cool. Kind of simple. I think they're kind of easy to transform type characters, but I didn't have them. And again, $7.50. Not a bad deal. Not a bad deal. Dougie, I've got a question for you, man. How is the UK during this stage of a global pandemic? Like, are you guys getting the vaccine rolled out really well, or have there been any hiccups? as far as getting it to people who need it, let's see. Bought a ridiculously huge Scrooge, like 2 foot tall, I think. Unfortunately, he was all smack. Oh no, he was okay. He was insured, so that's good. He was insured. They wouldn't pay up. Doing a full restoration is now much. Oh damn, that sucks. Wait, so it was insured and they still wouldn't. They still wouldn't cash you out on that. That sucks. So I got these 2 guys. I used to have the original toys of these guys whenever I was a child, and I actually have a very fond memory of visiting whenever I was a child. My mother and I went to Lafayette, Louisiana. I'm originally from South Louisiana. And my aunt and uncle lived there. And I remember going to a KB Toys in a mall, and they had these, and my mom got them for me, and I just remember being at that mall whenever I got these, and I don't know, it's a weird memory. So seem to be fairly firing the vaccine into people, but still fully locked down. Very boring. That sucks. In fairness, it's still probably the safest thing. Like, there's that whole like adage of better safe than sorry. Like, I totally understand that being locked down would be boring. I totally understand that. I can't blame the government for wanting a lockdown. I think that's the safe thing to do. Hopefully soon. Hopefully we will turn a corner of this very soon, and everyone can go out and have fun and do all the cool stuff again. I sometimes kind of hate the fact that the previous administration here in America didn't take it seriously. So yeah, exactly. Like, I feel like if that's your option, like sitting at home or not being alive, that's kind of, I feel like that's very, makes it pretty easy. Hey, this guy turned into a wolf. So I got that going for me. So I'm gonna put this guy over here. This guy is supposed to turn into some kind of vulture. So 4 people in the chat, please say hello. Please say hello. Myself and my pal Dougie are just chatting. I went on a crazy toy hunt today and I bought some toys. So you are seeing what I purchased. And you're watching me, a grown man, in my office, transform toys. I don't know how to transform this one, though. This one looks a little more complicated. I feel like this one's a little more complicated. No, this wouldn't be no, that would be too cheap. They wouldn't do this. Well, maybe they would. I should probably look at the instructions. No. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. I'm talking out loud to myself. What? Anything else new or exciting going on? I know that you just said that nothing really, like lockdown going on. 3 people in the chat, please join or 3 people in the stream, please join the chat. Hop in. Please feel free to hop into the conversation for me and Dougie here. We're just chatting. I'm trying to figure out how to transform this thing. Don't necessarily know if I'm doing the right thing or not, but we shall find out. I'm looking at the instructions now. So that way. Yeah, I guess I'm doing this correctly. I was actually having a discussion with a friend of mine today regarding some films that came out last year, and we were talking about the Oscars, and we were like, are they even going to have the Oscars? I haven't looked into it, so I don't know if this is true or not, but I was thinking, like, are they even going to have the Oscars this year? Just because, I mean, what movies have come out this year? There was a couple things that went to Disney Plus that was supposed to go to the theater, and then there was a couple things that actually did come out in the theater. Like Tenet came out. Onward hit the theater, but a week later we had to lock down. What else came out? The New Mutants finally came out. That only took 2.5, 3 years of it being shelved before somebody at Fox said, you know what, maybe we should put that in the theater. I'm trying to remember what else came out. So Onward went almost immediately to Disney Plus. Soul went directly to Disney Plus. Mulan was the premium thing where you had to pay like an extra $30. And then I guess you got to own a copy. You got a digital copy of it, but you also had to sign in through Disney Plus. I don't know. It was weird. I didn't do it. I didn't pay for it. But they're going to do that for Raya the Last Dragon. And I think I might actually... Oh, that's how you do it. There was a piece that rocked up and I didn't know it. There was a... I might actually do it for Raya and the Last Dragon because Raya looks very, very interesting. So I think I'm going to do it for that one. But as far as like what came out, I think Invisible Man came out in January of last year, which I really liked. I really liked The Invisible Man that Blumhouse released early last year. The amount of gaslighting in that movie alone just made me uncomfortable. I can't remember where I read the news for Raya. I feel like that might have been one of the things they talked about in the shareholder, like the digital shareholder thing that they did back in late December. So I feel like a quick Google search can confirm that. But yeah, this guy turned into a vulture. Check it out. But yeah, so like what everything got pushed. Ghostbusters got pushed back. Black Widow got pushed back. Bond got pushed back. I feel like the only big blockbuster film that was supposed to come out last year that actually did come out last year was Tenet. And I think that got pushed back a little bit, but they kind of just went for it, which I watched Tenet the other night. And I know that a lot of people on the internet were hating on it. I enjoyed it. A lot of people said it didn't make sense. And I can agree with that to an extent. I think the overall story arc made sense, and I followed it fairly easily. But I think the mechanics of what goes on in the film was not explained very well because it's very time jumpy, and some of the stuff that they did, while cool, I don't know, it just didn't make sense to me. And I got a buddy that I do a podcast with. His name's Ryan. And Ryan's probably the biggest movie guy that I think I've ever met in my entire life. And I love him for it. And anytime, and he's a big Nolan guy, Christopher Nolan fan. So anytime I don't understand something, I'm like, all right, man, I feel like I'm not getting this quite as much. And then he'll explain it to me. And it's like, oh, okay, that makes totally so much more sense. So 5 people on the live stream, feel free to hop on the chat and say hello. Right now, my buddy Dougie and I are just talking movies, or I'm talking movies, and everyone's just listening, I guess. There's some cats in the background, so you might hear some meowing. You might hear one of them playing with one of his little toys with a bell on it. He is adorable. James, what's happening, man? How are you? Thanks for hopping in on the chat. I haven't watched your recent video yet, and it's on my list of things to watch tonight. So I'm going to do that after I shut this thing down. Probably not for a little, not for a while. Save Jordan. No, buddy. I like that you're here. Don't go away. Nobody needs saving. I like that you're here. So. Oh, excellent, man. Excellent. I went out about today and I bought a lot of unnecessary things that I didn't need. So I'm just opening a bunch of dumb toys. So that's what I'm doing right now. A buddy of mine got this for me. I don't necessarily buy a lot of these things, but my friend goes, "Oh man, I know you like Sam, so here's a Trick or Treat Sam figure." So I'm really excited to crack this open. I did go out of my way, God, probably like a year or two ago, to buy the NECA, the actual movie quality figure for Sam, and I don't want to open them because the box looks too cool, and I don't want to lose pieces. But he comes with a whole bunch of cool stuff, and I don't want to break him. I'm afraid I'm going to break him because he looks too cool. I like that the box art. I don't know if you can see this through the bubble, but there's a box office for like a movie box office, and there's just a skeleton in there. Like it's been a decaying corpse in a movie box office. I think that's pretty funny. Any new Jace and the Wheeled Warriors toys? Holy hell, that is a deep cut. No is the answer, but I don't know if I would be surprised or not if I saw some of that stuff on the shelf, to be honest with you, because everything from the 80s is coming back from whenever we were in our youth. Jason the Wheeled Warriors. I bet you that there's a market. If somebody creates it, somebody will buy it. I bet. Best theme song ever. I remember it had a pretty solid theme song. I don't like remember it, but I remember it being pretty catchy. You'd buy it. Yeah, see? Somebody. And that somebody's you. So get the same figure. It's got a removable head, so it comes with his masked head and then his unmasked head. So let's see what that looks like. Come on. There we go. And it comes with his lollipop, which I almost bought one of these. I almost got like a life-size one of these at Spirit Halloween this year. And you can put his bag of candy. Is it his bag of tricks or is it his bag of treats? That's what that guy looks like. I think I like the burlap sack head better. So I think I'm going to toss that one on. Yeah, I think that one looks a lot better. I think that's how I'm going to display them. So that's all I'm opening today. But no, I went out and I bought a lot of stuff I didn't need. Probably much to my wife's chagrin, because I buy too much of this stuff and I need to not. Because I need to start saving money for the next eventual Disney trip when that happens. Hopefully, we were hoping, if all goes well and we can both get the vaccine and there's not another COVID spike between August and October, we're hoping that we can maybe make it down to Disney World in December. But if not, then we're probably just going to have to push it out to 2021 or 2022, which is a bummer because I really wanted to be down there for Christmas because that's my favorite time to go. And they were supposed to, Tron was supposed to be opening sometime this summer, but I don't think it's actually going to happen. Let's see. Angel Johnson hopped in on the chat and said, Alicia Keys or Halle Berry, who is more beautiful? I choose Alicia. I don't know. I don't know if I have an opinion on this. They're both titans in their industries. How about that? That's a safe answer that I'm willing to go for. I don't know. Halle Berry played Storm, but Alicia Keys has written some amazing songs. I don't know. Anybody else in the chat want to answer that? I haven't stepped in foot. Or hey, Josh, how you doing, buddy? Haven't stepped foot in a Disney park since 2018. The correct answer is Alicia Keys, Jordan. Okay, Josh is informing me that Alicia Keys is the correct answer to this question, so I'm going with Alicia Keys. That is my final answer that Josh told me I had to say. So, thank you, Josh. It's weird. I say that we haven't been to Disney in a while, and in truth, it's only been a year. Like we went in February of last year, and I think when we got home, maybe 3 weeks later is when everything went crazy. So everything started to shut down, and I think when we went, it was only like 3 or 4 days before where the first U.S. case of COVID was confirmed. So when we went, like we were still like, all right, that's fine, and nothing's gonna happen. We went, we had a very nice week at Disney World, and then got in middle of March or the beginning of March, everything was like, you know what? Everything's going crazy, so we're just gonna shut down just in case. Do you remember 2002? There were cell phones around or YouTube. I do. I do remember 2002. I'm not young. I'm not very very young at all. I actually graduated high school in 2002. That was the year I got a cell phone. It was my first cell phone. That's a lie. I got a cell phone a year before that. I got the cell phone at the beginning of my senior year. There's a cat crying about something downstairs. Was YouTube around? Maybe YouTube was around and I just didn't know about it. I feel like I had heard about YouTube about a year or so later. So you used to carry around a beeper. I remember that was kind of the status symbol growing up. Was you were cool if you had a beeper. But I mean, beepers were expensive back then, right? It was like what, 45, 50 bucks a month for service, and like at the time in the 90s, like that was expensive. And I remember my mom had a beeper for work, and I thought it was the coolest thing, and I would always mess around with it and make it beep, and she would get really angry at me. So YouTube is 2005. So YouTube is 16 years old. Think of how far YouTube has come since 2005. Spooky, what are you crying about, dude? I'm over here. Come here. He's in the other room crying as if he can't hear me talking. Come here, dude. Come on, come say hi to the internet. Hey, buddy. YouTube has come a long way. Like it was. I feel like I remember that. Like you used to not be able to make money off YouTube. I mean, I don't currently make money off YouTube, but it was just, hey, you got a video and upload it. And before like a lot of the rights issues started to come into play, it wasn't that cool. Hey, kitty, come here, buddy. Come here. The internet wants to tell you hi. Come here. Oh, there you go. This is my buddy Spooky, and he's leaving. Don't show the internet your butt. That was a courtesy cover for you guys. Senior year of high school, getting yelled at for sending too many texts because they cost 10 cents a message, and getting kicked off the internet because my mom needed the phone. Yeah, I remember getting my first text message. It was from a friend of mine named Joe. And I was like, what is this? He's like, it's a text message. I was like, what is a text message? He had to explain it to me. And I started to send them, and I told my parents about it. And my stepdad was like, don't do that. We don't have that. It's not part of our plan. I'm like, no, every phone has it. It just charges you when you do it. And he's like, well, how many have you sent? I'm like, I don't know, like 10. Like, how much do they cost? Like 10 cents. It's like, all right, you owe me $1. It's like, just for sending messages. He's like, no, yeah, give me, like, he made me give him $1. How dare he? And now it's just, it's the primary form of communication. I know a lot of people prefer to text than to actually talk on the phone, which is weird because why call it a phone? I mean, you can still talk to people, I guess, but it's a I don't know, like a $1,000 texting device. Don't call me, bro. I'm gonna call you right now. Joshua Lauren Taylor. I don't have your phone number. I'm not calling you, Josh. So. 3 people in the chat. Angel, James, Josh. I don't know if Dougie's still here. Dougie, you still around? If not, it's cool. I understand if you're not. So, what Abita is that? This is actually the root beer from Abita. I think they make really good, like, just legit root beer. It's not the hard root beer, although the hard root beer is good. I just like the regular old root beer. And if I go for an actual beer, I tend to go towards their Purple Haze, which is really nice. I had a couple of other ones. They had like a pecan beer that was really good that I enjoyed. You've never seen it? Yeah, check Publix because that's where I get it, and it's right next to the soda. So it's where you get like the glass bottle soda and the aisle in Publix. So check that if you're curious. It's like $6 for a 6-pack. It's really good. I like it a lot. I'm a sucker for it. So, Josh, how are things going on your end, buddy? How's the videos for Network 1901 coming along? Turbo Dog and the alligator one. Yeah, Andy Gator is that. I think is the one that it's called, or that's. Let me start that sentence over. I think it's called Andy Gator. And I've had that one. I've liked that one. Purple Haze is the one I kind of go to. And again, the hard root beer it's all right. It's not. I've had better hard root beers, but that is the one that I'm drinking right now. So I've got some leftover beer. Jeremy and Kara actually sent me some beer. Not too long ago. Jeremy and Kara from the Magic Geekdom. For those watching that aren't aware of who they are amazing, and they sent me some Transformers themed beer from a brewery in Florida, and I'm saving it for a special occasion. I've had one of them and it was really good, but I've got 3 more and I'm saving it for a special occasion. So yeah, there was one of them was called You Got the Touch, and the other one was called You Got the Power, which is a play on the soundtrack from the 80s animated film. And one of them was an Optimus Prime character, and the other one was a Rodimus Prime character. And one of them was blueberry and coffee, and the other one was a raspberry and chocolate, and they were both sours. I'm not the biggest sour fan, but these weren't bad. So for people on the live stream, please say hello, join the conversation. I've got James and Josh and Angel, I think, might still be here. Dougie might also be here. I don't know. I'm not too sure. The more 80s culture beers. I agree. There's a brewery here in Atlanta, probably about 20-25 minutes away from me, called Pontoon Brewing, and they do 2 Ghostbuster themed beers, and one of them is called Something Strange, and the other one is called Something Strange 2. But they're both IPAs, and I am not the biggest IPA fan. Like, if I drink an IPA, it's usually the first beer I'll have of the evening, and then I'm done. Then I just kind of switch to something much less hoppy. So I don't dislike an IPA, but it is definitely not my go-to casually drink beer. But the Ghostbusters thing, my love of Ghostbusters superseded my dislike of IPAs, so I'm just pretty excited for it. What was it? What was I talking about earlier? Oh yeah, so we're thinking about going back to Disney. Hopefully this year, if we can make it happen. If not, we'll have to wait till next year. It's a bummer because I really like to go during Christmas. I think it's really worth it to go during Christmas for all the Christmas decorations. And James, I actually just got done probably like about a week ago. I watched a handful of your Christmas vlogs from Disney, and I absolutely loved them. And I was going through Christmas Disney withdrawals, and your videos helped whet the appetite, man. I really appreciate it. So thanks for some awesome videos. I really appreciate it. We're still talking about, like, every time we talk about going to Disney, we always talk about, like, oh, do you want to go somewhere else that isn't Disney? And then we both end up going, no, let's just go back to Disney. Super awesome. I'm glad yeah, man, I enjoyed them. Keep them coming, man. I really like them. And what I was saying a second ago is, like, I always say, like, let's, or we always throw out the suggestion of going to some place that isn't Disney. And one of the places that we want to go to, that you've also made videos there, is St. Augustine. I've wanted to go to St. Augustine for a while. I want to go check out the lighthouse, and I want to kind of see some of the parks there, like the wildlife parks, and see the fort that's there. But anytime I'm like, yeah, but if we go to Florida, we might as well just go to Disney. So we end up always going back to Disney because we are suckers. Good. Got a few videos lined up to come out. I have a new episode of the Modern Mouse podcast coming out tomorrow. So I'm taking a break from finishing that up to see your face. Oh, thanks, buddy. I'm sorry that this is what is gracing your break. I feel like your time is very valuable. You do a lot of stuff, buddy. So, man, you're cranking out podcasts. I'm messing around with this thing, and I don't know why. I should probably put it down. We're cranking out a lot of cool stuff, man. And so is the Modern Mouse episode like a Patreon only, or is it gonna pop up on my podcast feed? Because I haven't seen a new episode of Modern Mouse in a while, and I would love to hear a new episode. Shout out to the Modern Mouse podcast by the one and only Josh Taylor, who also I want to give a shout out to. If you see in the upper corner or below down the video, his graphic design skills created my little avatar for the channel. So shout out to Josh Taylor. I might start to wind down the video. I didn't really have anything too crazy or whatnot to talk about. I was just opening these toys, and I figured I would chat while I was doing it. Look, I got some Transformers. I used to have these guys. If you're just joining and you didn't see the original or the first part of this, but I used to have these guys, or the original ones, back whenever I was a kid. And the new ones came out, and they were on clearance for $7, so I got them because they were originally $25. Modern Mouse will be on your feed. Don't make any Modern Mouse. Didn't make any Modern Mouse in 2020, but there will be one a month going forward right now. Excellent. I love to hear that, because I've always really enjoyed all of your podcasts. So I look forward to them whenever you make them. So I still say How Music Changed the World was probably one of the best podcasts that I've listened to in quite a while. So WandaVision show I'm doing is a Patreon show. Man, I've been digging WandaVision, And it kind of bums me out that there's so many people on the internet that are like, I don't get it. And I don't like I that's fine. Like I don't think you're supposed to get it. It's like any show that kind of like grabs you isn't going to play their whole hand of cards in the first episode to tell you everything and hold your hand through what's coming up. Like there is a story arc. Like you're not supposed to know. And I like the fact that I don't know and that everything's being hinted at in each episode. Or excuse me, in the episodes. So I still don't know what's going on, but I'm not supposed to know what's going on, and it's not my job to like TV show theorize what's going on, right? Like I know that plenty of people have read the comics and kind of have an idea of what might be going on, but as a viewer, I'm okay with not knowing until the big reveal, and I'm fine with that. Absolutely loving Wanda. Yeah, man, I'm loving it too. It is clear that a lot of people didn't watch Nick at Night growing up or Twin Peaks. So I watched a lot of Nick at Night. I have not seen Twin Peaks. And it's not because, like, I'm sure if I watch it, I might enjoy it. But I'm not the biggest David Lynch fan. And I know I'm probably a minority in that just because I've watched a lot of his films, and not for nothing. I tried. I've watched Eraserhead, which was a weird film. I've watched Mulholland Drive. I've watched Blue Velvet, and I feel like I've watched bits and pieces of something else, like maybe Lost Highway or something. And it's just not doing it for me. So I don't think I am a David Lynch fan. So I don't know how much I would enjoy Twin Peaks because of that. And I realize that's on me, and I'm okay with that. Disney World Freak, hello, welcome to the chat. My pal Walter Grams shared you out, popping in to say hello. I'll check out your channel. Hey, thanks so much. I love Dougie. Dougie's a good dude, and I don't get a chance to talk to Dougie very often. So I really appreciate that you hopped in on the chat because he either linked you or shared the link. So thanks for stopping by, and I hope you enjoy your stay at the Jordan Gasly YouTube channel. So yeah, appreciate it. Personally, I don't care for Twin Peaks because I'm not a Lynch fan either. But that show is such a slow burn. You have to invest hours before any bit of payoff. I am more than okay with any kind of show that does the slow burn, like, or any kind of show or any kind of film. For example, hold on one second. Sorry, my throat was getting dry. Like a lot of new horror films do this slow burn. And like I really enjoyed The Witch. And I didn't like it when I saw it. I saw it in the theater, and I saw that it was a slow burn. And I was fine with it being a slow burn. But when I walked out of the theater, I was like, kind of wanted more. The problem is, like, I kept thinking about that movie for hours a day for a week. And I thought, maybe I liked this movie way more than I did. And when it came out on Blu-ray, I picked it up, I rewatched it. I'm like, yeah, I absolutely love this movie. Same thing with Hereditary and Midsummer and The Lighthouse. Like a lot of these really weird slow burns. But if you, I like that slow burn for episodic television as well. So I'm really, really digging the slow burn for WandaVision. I was talking to a friend about this today, and I feel like in the age of the internet, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like in the age of the internet, with the prevalence of pop culture, whether it be television, video games, films, everybody being on social media and voicing their opinion on certain films, like anybody can start a blog and review movies. Anybody can start a YouTube channel and talk about all of why they think a show is good or why they think a show is bad, right? Like, but I feel that with this, or with this, a lot of people who are invested in a show start to hypothesize of how a show is going to go, and they look for those Easter eggs. And I'm fine with that. Like those are all things that are thought of and put into the content of these shows. But I also feel that whenever or because people do this, people almost want, like I said earlier, like the entire hand of cards to be shown in early episodes, so that way they maybe they know what they're getting into in future episodes or something. But and I feel like people don't appreciate the fact that of not knowing something until a big reveal. Like I still think a big reveal is like a great art form. And like it just kind of bugs me that whenever somebody sees one episode of something, they're like, I don't understand it. And then it's done. Well, you're not supposed to, because you're not there yet. So maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me, but that's kind of how I see a lot of stuff these days. And I don't know if that made any sense. I'm clearly an old man who yells at clouds and rambles. Glad we got to catch up with you for a few. Going to start winding down. Have a great night, bud. Hey, James, thanks for popping in, man. I really appreciate it. You guys have a good night. And, give the family high fives for me, as I can't, because one, social distance, and two, actual distance, because I'm in Atlanta. So take it easy. Have a good night, man. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's a weird thing. And I also feel, and this is something that I've been more aware of since the Star Wars sequel trilogy had started to come out. So since Force Awakens, I feel like a lot of people put expectations onto a movie or a show, and then when it turns out differently than how they were expecting, they end up hating what they got. And I don't think that's fair to the show, because if you're expecting one thing to happen and it doesn't, that isn't a reason for somebody to hate that I guess show or TV or film or whatever. And I think now it's fair to not like it, to not like a piece of content or a piece of media, but I feel like it's unfair to not like it because it wasn't what somebody wanted it to be. I feel like when something comes out, like watch it and then kind of judge it, and then you can critique what it did or what it didn't, or what it did or what it did or what it did wrong. But I feel like if you want a show to start at A and go to point B, but instead of going from A to B, it goes from A to, I don't know, C or D. Like I think it's unfair to judge it because it took you for a loop. I agree with you. I prefer the slow burn. I like being drawn into something with intrigue. Yeah, I'm totally into that. Like, kind of, and I know that this show gets a very bad rap, but I mean, that's kind of what drew me into Lost back in 2005, whenever that was a big thing, where it's every episode you had more questions and it just kind of drew you in. Let me tell you, man, that first season of Lost is quite possibly the best first season of a show on television I've seen probably in about 15 years. And we all, like, later down the line learned that the writers of Lost were kind of a mess. They had no idea what was going on, and they were just making it up as they went along anyway. But I still think, like, point being that there was a lot of intrigue. So yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like everybody wants to know everything about the thing within the first 10 or 15 minutes of the first episode. And I get it. There's a lot of content out and about, and you have to be picky and choosy on what you spend your time on. Otherwise, you feel like you probably wasted time with something that you ended up not liking. But I mean, that's the price you pay for watching stuff, I guess. Like, I'm okay. Like, I'm fine if I watch something and go, I didn't care for it. All right, well, then I never have to watch again. At least I watch it once to know I didn't care for it. But if I watch something and be like, I hate it, it's stupid, it's the dumbest thing ever because it didn't do this, and like those are my expectations that I'm projecting onto this thing. That's not what the writers and the creators had intended. So I do my best to judge the merit on what is presented to me and how it's presented to me. So Jordan, do you do interviews? I interview other YouTube channels on Saturdays. I'm primarily Disney, but like old toys, would like to branch out? You seem like an interesting. Oh, thank you so much, Disney World Freak. Yeah, I am all over the place. As you can see, I have I have toys all over the place. I've got more stuff over here. I'm a sucker for a nice action figure. And yes, if you would love to chat with me, please, by all means, you can hit me up on Twitter at Jordan Ghastly, or you can send me a message through YouTube. So yeah, I'm more than happy to chat with anybody and everybody. So I can chat toys, I can chat Disney. Yeah, you know what? Ball is in your court. Yeah, I'd be more than happy to chat. Absolutely. I will reach out through Twitter. Excellent. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Looking forward to it. So, speaking of, I think I might actually, because I've been doing this for 51 minutes and hasn't felt like it. So, DWG Rhonda Lee. Hey guys. Hey Rhonda, how are you? Thanks for joining in on the live stream. I'm just kind of hanging out. I was talking with Josh about WandaVision, and we were just kind of hanging out, talking Disney World, Disney shows, and just I don't know, I guess television shows in general. So wait, do you guys know each other? Rhonda, DWG Rhonda, and Disney World Freak, are you guys acquaintances? Thank you for coming to the chat, by the way. I really appreciate it. Oh, from streams. Excellent. Excellent. I've kind of started to do live streaming a little bit more frequent. I don't have the 1,000 subscribers to do mobile live streaming, which is a bummer because I was able to do it once before YouTube kind of dropped the kibosh on that. So I can live stream from my laptop, but I can't go out and about into the world and live stream, which is a bummer. But I've been kind of doing these live streams a little bit more often just because I haven't been able to go out and make longer form vlogs. But hopefully I'll have a new one uploaded within a few days, if not by this time next week. So do I have an iPhone? I do have an iPhone. I've got this one right here. It is this nice fancy one with 900 cameras on the back of it. I was able to live stream once from Hollywood Studios. So, and then I thought it was fun and I was going to do more of it, but then YouTube decided to change the download Prism. Okay. Prism. I'll do that actually. If you need a new show to get into, may I recommend The Owl House? The first season is on Disney Plus. Might be the best current animated show, and each episode builds on the last. Okay, yeah, I'll definitely check that out. I feel like you and I have a lot of the same taste, Josh. So I'll more than likely check that out. I have a really bad habit of putting tons of stuff into my to watch queue on any of my streaming services, and then I just don't watch it because I don't know. Like I just never get around to it. I still need to watch the second season of What We Do in the Shadows because the first season was hilarious. And, for a year of being stuck at the house during a global pandemic, you'd think I probably would have watched a lot more television shows and films. And I have not. And I'm very surprised at that. Download Prism. See, I lived the You lived the Dragon Con parade without having enough subs. So I am a very big frequenter of Dragon Con. So if you dig on some of my videos on my channel, I've got like 6 Dragon Con videos. I go every year, and I love Dragon Con, and I was super bummed that it was canceled last year. I'm actually, I'm not trying to make myself sound important, because I'm definitely not important, but I do talks at Dragon Con, so I give panels at Dragon Con. And I've been going once a year for about 12, maybe this year last year would have been my 13th year in a row. But I love it. I love Dragon Con, and I'm hoping that everything is going to be quasi back to normal, to where Dragon Con can happen again, because I missed it this year. Streamlabs doesn't work well in Atlanta. Owl House is basically the kid version of Sabrina. All right, I'm down with that. Because I was not a big fan of that first season of Sabrina, so much so that I didn't even watch the rest of the series. At least did a year and a half ago. Sorry, wasn't thinking of Disney. Of course, ran around with Streamlabs before I got 1K and hated it. Okay. All right. Let's see. You okay? You know a lot of panelists. Okay. Excellent. Which ones do you do? Funny story. I'm actually on the paranormal track. Years ago, in another life, I say another life, it's still my life. The reason I chose the name Jordan Gasly for my channel is because I'm a big lover of ghost stories, whether that be fictitious ghost stories from famous authors such as M.R. James, Stephen King, or Charles Dickens, or whether it's folklore of like real hauntings, or folklore or mythology ghost stories. I just love a good ghost story. And they're my favorite type of literature to read. And because of that, I really got into studying the paranormal. So I talk on the paranormal track. So I got really into cultural, ghost stories, and what they mean culturally to people, and how you can learn a lot of history through ghost stories, and you can learn a lot of people's culture through those ghost stories, and what that means to them on either a sacred level or like a secular level. And I joined a paranormal investigation team in Georgia called Paranormal Georgia Investigations. And we're on hiatus right now just because of a global pandemic. But we still do things. But my friend Heather, who is in the group, just released her second book. And her first book and her second book are in parts of a trilogy of her journey becoming a paranormal investigator. And we've never had a television show. That's not what we're interested in. So we don't really have like a big platform to promote ourselves. So we kind of do these local con circuits, and they just let us talk about stuff that we're interested in, and they trust us. And we've been asked back for 5 years in a row, and I think that's really cool. And then people come in and hear us, and they're really interested in what we have to say, and that makes me feel really happy, because again, I don't think I'm very important, and I'm not an important, in terms of the paranormal community. I don't have a television show. I don't have much of an online presence for that specific subject. So whenever people come and hear us talk, I think it's really cool that they took their time of their convention to go and listen to us, where they could have easily gone and listened to I don't know, the dudes from Ghost Hunters or Ghost Adventures or something. So I think that was pretty cool. So that's the long answer of saying I'm on the paranormal track. You don't think it will be this year? I don't know if it'll be this year. I do know that they pushed back our attending professional status. So if it does happen this year, then I'll be going. But if not, then I don't know. Well, we'll see. It's still up in the air. Won't allow you to send it a direct message. Okay. Yeah, I'm on top of that. I got you. I put my Twitter on lockdown for security reasons, because I've been applying for jobs, and I had a lot of hard thoughts and opinions over the last 3 weeks of the some of the crazy stuff happening in America. And I locked it down just in case. But I'll unlock it and then we'll make something happen. So I'll unlock it once I get off of the live stream. I've been live streaming for an hour. Holy heck. Please find a way for that. Yeah, so yeah, definitely. I'll definitely get on top of that. It's funny how small the world is. My ex coworker's boyfriend has one of those TV shows. Your ex coworker's boyfriend had. Do you know what TV show it is? Not that I talk to people with the TV shows, but you know, it's not as big of a community as like I'm sure nobody knows who the heck I am, but I know who the people who have the TV shows are. You're from Rhode Island, home to 3 founders of the Ghost. Yeah, I remember when Ghost Hunters came on TV. That was a big deal. Like that was actually kind of a pretty important thing to happen to the paranormal community, because at the time, talking about paranormal stuff was still taboo. That show, whether or not people believe it or whether or not they did or didn't fake evidence, I don't know. I wasn't there, and I'm not going to point the finger at anybody and accuse somebody of something they did or didn't do. But it was a very important show for the community, because people started to realize that it was okay to talk about that stuff. Go live your life, Jordan. Listen, Josh, every day I try. I just got laid off. Let me go look it up. The connection is she was a Disney princess. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'll look that. I was let go from my job last year too, and it was a bummer because I had an amazing job. It didn't pay well, but I absolutely loved the job, and I would have done it for another 10 years given the option. But sadly, due to the pandemic, it was not in the cards, and I'm on the hunt. So Ghost Adventures is the show. Okay. Yeah, I watched a couple of Ghost Adventures. I'm not the biggest fan. That's a personal preference. So there's a reason that a lot of these shows are called paratainment, and that's heavily on the entertainment aspect. So yeah, I wouldn't hold your breath on the Georgia unemployment. I was getting underemployment 2 months before 2 months before I got laid off. I was working in Buckhead, actually, and they were the institution I was working for was filing underemployment for us, so we didn't have to go through anything. I was like, oh, that's great. But right now, that was my main job. I had a second job, and now my second job is my only job. It's kind of my primary thing, but I've got some applications out and about, so that's I kind of locked the old Twitter down because of that. But I think we're good. I think I'm good to open it back up again. So Steve Gonzalez is Portuguese like myself. Good guy. I have met Steve Gonzalez once or twice, and he was a very nice guy. I can tell you that I have hung out with, he probably wouldn't remember it, but I've hung out with Dave Tango very briefly once or twice, and he's a very, very, very nice guy. So, and actually I bumped into Dave Tango the last time at Disney World. Not this last year, but I think it was like 2 years ago. And I thought that was pretty funny. I bumped into him at Animal Kingdom, going from Pandora to Africa and around the back on the little deck boardwalk thing. So I thought that was pretty cool. You filed in August. Oh my God. Yeah, that's awful. And no word at all. I'm trying to get any like unemployment or back unemployment pay. Oh, that's terrible. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna try to see if I can figure out how to unlock my there you go, Disney World Freak. I got you. You're in. Let's see. I have no idea who all of these people are that are on this list. So, but bouncing out of here to go finish up the podcast. Take care, friend. Josh, thanks for stopping by, buddy. I really appreciate it whenever you take time to hop in on these live streams, man. Cheers. Have a good night, buddy. Speaking of, we've been at this for an hour and 5 minutes, so I think I might call it a night. I need to go and fix dinner, and I need to go feed some cats. So you've met Jason, Steve, and Grant at a local gathering here in Rhode Island, maybe 2 to 3 years into the show. So I've met all of them very briefly. One of the teams that I used to be on here in Georgia was actually an affiliate of theirs. So I guess the Ghost Hunters, the guy groups and taps, they have each state affiliate. And my first team that I was in was actually the Georgia affiliate, and they were friends, like really good friends with Jason. Never got to meet him through them, but I actually met him at Dragon Con probably like a couple years before that. So make sure you give him the right dinner to the right being. Cat food isn't good. No, it's not. It's dry and it's salty because they're on prescription food. So it is not good. So, but I think I will go ahead and end the stream here. Thank you all so much for stopping in. Rhonda Lee, thanks for stopping in and chatting with me. Disney World Freak, thanks for stopping in and chatting with me. I really appreciate it. And some other people who are on the chat, Dougie, thanks so much for stopping in, buddy. I really appreciate it whenever you pop in. And James, thanks so much for popping in and saying, hey, I really appreciate it. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off now, and I'm going to go ahead and sign off how I do with all my vlogs. So we'll see you real soon, and stay spooky. Have a good night, everybody.